Welcome back to Demon Slayer Anime Review Special number 1. Yep, I was not initially planning on doing this for the particular series, but I figured though, why not? These arcs are actually pretty good for the series. Yeah, I'm actually going to talk about the arcs in the manga. Well, the ones that have not been adapted yet. Demon Train arc, which is the next arc, basically comes right after the retraining arc that happened in season 1, got partially adapted into the beginning of the season. Yeah, they started to adapt it. They adapted like the first chapter and a half, and that was basically it. Yep, I'm going to be discussing that particular arc in this particular review. Yeah, I also got when the movie comes out, which I've heard something that comes out in June or July of next year. Basically about 6 months. Not wait too long. It's not a whole freaking year. This one I'm covering the arc that comes right after that. This is technically the 8th arc of the series, the Red Light District arc. This covers chapters 7 through 99, which makes it the second longest arc of the entire series at 33 chapters. Yep, second longest. The first few chapters of this particular arc just deals with the aftermath. Yep, of the previous arc, which is nothing unusual for the series. That's kind of what they do. Where sometimes they do this, they deal with the aftermath from the previous arc. They have the character recover from it. Now, in this particular arc, you have started off with Tenso, basically going to visit the brother of the pillar who was killed off in the previous arc, and her brother is very happy, very polite to him. Not the guy's father. Oh no, not his father at all. And his father is a jerk. And this whole thing out for like 4 chapters. 6, 7, pretty much 70. Mm-hmm. That's what's. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing is, the guard of the sword of the demon of the pillar who was killed off in the previous arc, and because he tells him basically how much of a nice person he was, and the fact he gave him his message to him, which he was asked to by his older brother, who was the guy who got killed. He basically decided to give him as a present, gave him the hilt of his sword, which he would later basically merge into his own. That'll happen later. And then right after that, him, Zen, where his sister Nezuko, she is still in the box. She's in the box for the first part of this arc. I'd say about the first half of the story, she's in the box. The box is no less. So, yeah, two are pretty much here the entire year. Oh, in case you're wondering, did they contribute anything to the arc? A little bit at the beginning of the main story of this arc, but after that, they do pretty much the story. Zen and Sway basically don't do much of anything at all. Nope. Yeah. Now, the person is the Sound Pillar. Yep. The Sound Pillar. Who is... His name is Tenzin Uzugaki. Yep. Yeah. The team with him is oh yeah, I'm the god of flamboyance, and Insway's I'm the god of the mountain. And of course, now for this whole conversation, Insui and Zenzo basically are saying something stuff that Insui basically is not very happy with, so he beats the crap out of them. Tensu basically is very polite, asks him the correct stuff. He does not get beaten up at all. So basically, he's tasked them to help him find his missing contact, which has gone missing. Who was his contact? His wife. Oh yeah, he also reveals he's got more than one wife. He has 3 wives, and they're all female ninja. As far as I can tell, these are not sisters. No, they just basically just ninjas he found. Damn, he's one lucky son of a gun to have 3 wives. It's only one of the few series I've seen basically where you have a character and he's married to more than one woman. I'm not sure how this is basically dealt with in Japan, but in the US, this is actually illegal to have more than one wife. Yeah, a person doing this actually can go to jail for this. I'm not sure how long time this is, but yes, this is actually a crime to get married more than one wife in here in the US. Yeah, it's been that way for years. Now, some people have done it. It's very much frowned upon. It's never accepted at all to have more than one wife because, well, one man, one woman. That's basically what a lot of people believe in. So they go undercover to the red light district, the most flamboyant area. It's some town they go to, and they go undercover as geisha girls. Yep, as geisha girls. This lasts for like about 10 chapters of the arc. They find what we're looking for. The main theme of the story is this one. Let's see if I can hear. There she is. It's Diki and Garu. Yeah, these two are pretty much like now they are pretty much the main villains of this particular story. Now, despite the fact the whole geisha cover thing didn't last very long, it's quite an interesting concept for the characters undercover. Yeah, first in the series they've actually done that because they've generally been basically no dress and normal outfit that the whole every single arc they've been in so far. And basically, Zenosi basically explains it to the woman he briefly worked for, and she knew he was a boy. Yeah, she knew. And she was perfectly fine with it. She didn't like the fact that he lied to him, but yeah, he deeply care about her, so yeah. The thing is about to be someone's wife, and as far as I can tell, I don't think this character's seen again. Nope. And then pretty much for the last I would say for the next 17 chapters, we just have a massive battle. Like, oh my gosh, this battle lasts for a good long period of time. And the most interesting thing happens to this arc. Nezuko removes her mouth guard. Yes, the mouth guard that's been there since the start of the series. Yeah, it gets knocked off at the same time when one of her legs get ripped off by Diki. That's the name of the female demon. But she grows it back, and somehow her mouth guard gets knocked off. And she proceeds to sort of turn to a demon with a little horn. Oh yeah, and she's got marks on her. Yeah, and she looks like she's like smoking hot. Like, oh my gosh, this smoking hot woman. It's a good thing Zenose is not here, because he would basically be drooling all over her, basically, if he saw this. Yeah, as far as I can tell when I was reading this, he was nowhere in this spot. She's one point going out of control, and also, the Sound Pillar gets poisoned in this story. Yep, he gets poisoned, but don't worry, he doesn't die. What happens to him is quite interesting. During the course of the story, he loses his eye and hand. Yep, loses an eye and hand, and his poison is cured by Nezuko using her demon blood technique. And lucky enough that Zenzu basically decides, not Zenzu, Tezuko decides to put a new mouth guard, not the same one. That's put on a little bit later, and they're able to basically stop her going out of control. Basically, control her down. Yeah, first he calmed down with her sword, with his sword. Then he basically put a mouth guard on, not the same one per se, but yeah, a mouth guard. But I think she puts on by the next arc is back on her anyways. But something more interesting happens during the very next arc. Now, Diki, of course, is a favorite of the main of the series, Mizuki. Yes, she's a favorite of his, and she's basically Upper Moon 6. Yep, Upper Moon 6. And she and her brother basically are the main villains of the story. And basically the Sound Pillar is so basically, yeah, you're not the real Upper Moon. And they take on the other one, which they do defeat this guy. She gets killed by Inosuke and Zenzo. Yeah, that's another contribution to this whole story. And and of course he gets nearly get killed, but since he's cured, even though he's alive, he has to retire because he can't use a sword because he only has one hand. So he decided to settle down with his smoking hot wives. Maybe they can probably retire and probably he can give these women some kids. Possibly, I don't know. But pretty good story. The last few chapters of this arc are pretty much just set up for the very next story. Now, Tenzuro basically gets his sword chipped in this particular arc. Not broken, chipped. And this plays a role in the very next story arc, the Swordsman Village arc, which is roughly also the third longest arc in the series at 28 chapters. This arc overall is actually pretty good. It's kind of similar to what it was previous arc. They team with one of the pillars. Something bad happens to this particular pillar, but unlike with the other pillar who died, this one survived, but he had to retire. But at least he basically got to spend time with 3 smoking hot women. Good thing for him. Oh yeah, and the last chapter's arc ends with Toshiro basically meeting up a swordsman. This actually is set up for the very next story arc, and he meets up with, I believe this is the same woman who he actually met during the final selection, the female swordswoman, and like she's very happy to see him alive. And there was also a flashback to the previous arc where he's basically during his recovery and he's with the little girls helping him during his retraining stuff. Yeah, but that's all I gotta say about this particular arc. But that's the best I can remember for this particular. This arc was really good, but next arc becomes a lot more interesting. Excuse me. Unlike the past 2 arcs, teams with 1 pillar. The next arc he teams up with 2. And oh boy, I can't wait to talk about this one. I'll probably get a chance to talk about this arc probably in the next couple of days, either tomorrow or probably Tuesday at this rate. Yeah, depends on how long it takes me to finish up 28 chapters. Yeah, I kind of started this one yesterday, and I kind of finished it now. I've already read the whole series, or I did not read the newest chapter yet. I'll probably read it as soon as I get to the current arc of the series, which is Infinite Fortress, which this arc has officially begun now for about 56 chapters. Yep, 56. I'll get to that one soon, but this is pretty much going to be the first of, I think, a row. Mm-hmm. Yeah, first of 4, and then starting with chapter 5 until like yeah, start with special number 5, which will probably start with probably either chapter 180, probably 189, 190 at that point. Start from that point forward up until when the movie comes out or whenever they do season 2. I'll just basically continue doing specials, just like I did with My Hero Academia and Seven Deadly Sins, which for those 2 series probably resuming specials as soon as the series resumes. Yeah. Well, for My Hero Academia, basically I put those two special on hold, though I've occasionally have done recently thanks to the chap is being delayed for some strange reason. I don't know why. It's bizarre. But yeah. So yeah. Now I was thinking of doing this as a regular episode for the series, but I kind of figured, oh, it's anime. Save it for the actual thing. Save that for the movie, and whenever season 2 comes out. As in the case of the specials, to the manga. Kind of like I do with several series I do. Yep. So yeah, that's it for this particular review, and that's Let's Film Do today. Tomorrow I'll probably have probably about 2 videos due tomorrow at this rate. Well, Renma hopefully, which at this rate probably gonna cover the first 10 episode season at that point. It's possible. Along with another special, hopefully for this one. Well, hopefully get a chance to finish up the next 28 chapters. And I'll be talking about this really exciting arc in my next review for this particular series, okay? See you next view. Bye.